This is Good Morning Indiana, working for you.
The time right now is 4:27. Good morning to you. I'm Lauren Casey.
And I'm Meredith Barrick. We begin with another night of violence. 3 people shot, this time all of them now in the hospital. Police still looking into what exactly happened here on the north side.
Yeah, this happened in the 4300 block of Guilford Avenue. 3 people suffering from gunshot wounds. We can tell you at this hour they are all in stable condition. But again, police are just working to solve this case as well as several other cases that have been happening over the past few weeks of gunfire and violence around Indianapolis. If you know anything that could help them on this case or any of the other cases we've been following, you can call Crime Stoppers at 317-262-TIPS. And of course, we'll keep you updated as we learn more information.
We want to follow up also on yesterday's Daytona 500. It was rained out on Sunday, so the race took place yesterday instead. And what everyone is talking about this morning is this serious collision here that you can see almost at the end of the race.
Yeah, that's Ryan Newman's car, and basically he was bumped from behind, as you can see there, goes into this wall, catches fire, and flips upside down. We can tell you that he is being treated for injuries at this time, not life-threatening, so that is the good news this morning. But everyone's thoughts and prayers are with Ryan Newman and his family today. A really scary scene there in Daytona.
And especially those of us here in Indiana, an Indiana native, a Purdue grad, so many people feeling a close connection to this driver this morning. So we are going to continue to follow his recovery here. We do want to take a turn now, though, and bring in Alyssa Donovan. Alyssa, a little bit of rain this morning. That's going to stop, though, here soon, and we're going to be faced with some fog.
That's right. So we're going to see a little bit of fog developing over the next couple hours. Just a little bit of light drizzle still out there this morning, and then we will see that fog for your morning drive. Temperatures are starting pretty nice. You're going to walk outside and say, hey, it feels pretty good outside, but that's going to change as we head through the day. We are actually going to see those temperatures drop off. So by the afternoon, our temperatures will be into the 30s, and this morning you can see we're starting in the upper 40s here in Indianapolis, and we'll drop to about 40 degrees by right around 10 a.m. As we head through the week, we'll continue to see some cooler air filter in, and then the good news is this is really the rain for the next several days. Our next chance of rain comes in as we head into the weekend. So we're going to see a nice little dry streak. However, it is going to be a little bit chillier over the next couple days.
Okay, Alyssa, thank you.
All right, so in Hiring Hoosiers today, we're taking a look at a program that's connecting young students to careers in manufacturing. We know that manufacturing, there's a huge need for the next generation of employees. These are high-tech jobs, well-paying jobs, and they're in demand right now. We know we have all the major auto manufacturers here based in Indiana, and so we're heading up to Subaru of Indiana Automotive to show you how they're partnering with InMac to make this laboratory for young students. We'll have more on that, plus news, weather, and traffic right here in Good Morning Indiana.
This is Good Morning Indiana, working for you.
Now at 4:30, many residents and groups are stepping up to combat violence in Indianapolis. How one organization is working to open doors to build a safer community.
A shocking end to the Daytona 500 leaves Indiana native Ryan Newman hospitalized. What caused the final lap crash and the latest on Newman's recovery. And
one Indiana university is considering a ban on vaping. The rules trustees want to put in place for a stricter smoking policy. 4:30 on your Tuesday morning. Thanks for joining us. I'm Meredith Barrick.
And I'm Lauren Casey. Alyssa Donovan is joining us here at the desk this morning to talk about our forecast today. And it is drizzly outside right now, Alyssa, but we were saying it's pretty warm.
Yeah, so it actually feels pretty nice as you step outside. Temperatures are in the 50s and 40s across the area. We're at 49 degrees right now in Indianapolis, 51 down in Bloomington and Bedford. So we do have some warm spots on the map, but you can see that cooler air is going to start to filter in from the north, and that's going to impact us as we head through the day. So while we're starting with these temperatures very warm, by this afternoon we will be dropping into the 30s. So we are going to see a steady fall as we head through the afternoon. Right now we do have some of that fog starting to develop. You can see visibility down to just 2.5 miles right around Muncie, just 1.5 miles right around Fort Wayne. Most of that developing along our eastern side of the state, but expect that to continue to spread into the Indianapolis area as we head through the morning. So you might see that as you head through your commute today. As we look at the satellite and radar, you can see we do have just a few lingering showers across the area. That is going to quickly clear out. We are going to be left with high pressure as we head through the next few days. What that's going to do is bring us some sunshine, not today, but tomorrow and into the next couple days, and some cooler temperatures. Today will stay cloudy throughout, those temperatures falling into the 30s by the afternoon.
Alyssa, thank you. Here is a live look right now at traffic through the downtown area. I-65, a view from Fletcher Avenue. This is between the north and south splits, and you can see we have wet roads out there this morning, but everything's still traveling up to speed. That is the good news. Let's take you up to the northeast side. A live picture at I-465 and I-69, the ramp system there. Traffic here is moving along up to speed as well. The good news right now around the metro area, no major crashes or delays to slow you down.
New overnight police are investigating a shooting that left 3 people hurt on the north side. Metro police arrived at the crime scene on the 4300 block of Guilford Avenue around 11:30 last night. They found 3 victims who appeared to be suffering from gunshot wounds. All were listed in stable condition. Police are still working to figure out what led up to the shooting.
At 4:32, Metro Police say 2 people are in custody and an officer was hurt after a chase. This happened on the city's south side. Investigators say officers tried to pull over a vehicle, but the driver would not stop. They followed the vehicle to a dead end, and officers tried to arrest a man and a woman who were inside. After officers got out of their car, the driver allegedly turned around and drove towards an officer who fired several shots at the vehicle.
The officer on scene attempting to apprehend the suspect feared for her life and fired an unknown amount of shots at the vehicle, striking the vehicle but not striking the individuals inside the vehicle.
The suspects did not shoot at officers but did get away. A short time later, police spotted the vehicle and caught the suspects near US 31 and Fry Road. IMPD says that the officer who fired shots is hurt and is in stable condition this morning. According to IMPD, police and civilian vehicles were damaged during this chase.
Many people touched by violence in their community or lives are going the extra mile to be part of the solution. New Direction Church on 38th Street near Emerson Avenue runs a nonprofit called Saves. The goal is to address root problems that can lead to violence, like poverty. The program helps to do that by bringing opportunities and resources to struggling neighborhoods.
We've always been tasked with having to do more with less, especially those who are African American. We've always had to do more. We've got more issues. We've got more challenges. We got less resources. So for us, the arm of our church, which is Saved, if we had more resources, we could utilize the entire building for programs, for opportunities, for careers, for jobs, so that young men and young women would not even have a desire to do some of what they see in the streets.
Sullivan Jr. says that by opening new doors for people, it will close others that lead to deadly or destructive paths.
At 4:34, firefighters working hours to put out a house fire near Crooked Stick Golf Club up in Carmel. Large flames could be seen coming from this home on Torrey Pines Circle just before midnight. The 2 people living there made it out safely after fire alarms went off. Fire officials say the flames started in the garage, but they're still trying to find the exact cause.
This morning, Indiana native Ryan Newman is recovering after this devastating crash at the Daytona 500 last night. The crash happened on the final lap with Newman in the lead. He got bumped from behind by Ryan Blaney, sending his car into the wall, then into the air. Newman's car caught fire and then was hit by another car right on the driver's side before finally coming to rest upside down. NASCAR says he suffered serious but not life-threatening injuries. Denny Hamlin won the race but says Newman's health takes precedent.
You know, Ryan's a heck of a tough guy, and so we're going to hope he comes out of this good.
Newman grew up in South Bend driving quarter midgets. Now the Purdue grad is in his 21st season in NASCAR Cup racing.
An Indiana mother whose son died in a farming accident is turning to social media to spread a message.
Like many other farmers, Colton had the mindset that something like being engulfed in a grain bin could never possibly happen to him.
Anita Howard, who saw there, posted this video online. Her 18-year-old son died in a grain bin accident back in November near Terre Haute. She hopes to share her son's story at the National FFA Convention this year. Howard spoke to RTV6 via FaceTime about her mission.
A split decision claimed his life and is gone forever. You know, I don't want that to happen to another farmer. I don't want another farmer's family to go through the grief that we're going through.
Barkersville firefighters say they continually train for grain bin rescues and update their equipment.
Indiana State University in Terre Haute is now considering a ban on vaping. The school's trustees are considering a proposal to add e-cigarettes to the school's ban on tobacco-related products. The policy would allow vaping and use of other tobacco products inside a private vehicle, but it also calls for the gradual phase out of the current designated outdoor smoking areas on campus. A final policy recommendation will come in May. If approved, it would take effect July 1st.
Residents are fighting for their neighborhood's future, calling on leaders to rebuild a damaged dam. We first told you about this issue last week, as some people who live in Riverside on the near west side of Indianapolis want a damaged dam rebuilt. Residents held a meeting with Citizens Energy last night to voice their concerns. They say having the dam in the exact same spot is important to maintaining the water levels at Lake Indy because it's a crucial part of the plans to redevelop the area. Citizens Energy agrees that the flow of the water is too shallow in areas that require more depth, but the company says it's too expensive to rebuild a dam in the same location.
They're talking about putting the river up by the dam up by 30th Street. That's not going to help Riverside. And Riverside, when I was a young man, I used to swim in that, what they called the Indy pool back then. My mother used to take us down there to that pool and we'd go swimming. It's not going to be there if they don't put the dam in the right place.
We've come up with an option in Riverside Park that will restore part of Lake Indy as well as the boat ramp in Lake Indy. The reason why we can't put this rock ramp at the Emmericksville Dam site is it would cost about $20 million.
Says that it's not allowed to build structures for recreational purposes only, for water supply purposes. It must be built at the lowest possible cost. Last week, officials told RTV6 the plan is still in the very early stages, and officials are still listening to feedback.
More than a dozen American evacuees are back in the U.S. and have tested positive for the coronavirus. Coming up, the next steps as they head to a specialized quarantine unit.
And Redbox is joining the world of streaming, how the movie rental company is offering live TV for free. Alyssa.
And we're starting our day with some light drizzle and patchy fog across the area. Falling temps throughout your Tuesday, but there's good news. A little bit more sunshine and drier weather in the forecast. All of the details coming up.
Hands. Thanks, Joe Keefe. I got my hands back.
Welcome back. Here is a live look at traffic over on the west side, I-465 and I-74. You can see traffic here is moving along up to speed in all directions. Wet roads out there this morning. Good news is no crashes or delays. More than a dozen Americans who tested positive for the coronavirus are back in the United States this morning.
2 planes touched down in California and Texas. Those passengers now under a new quarantine here at home. ABC's Andrew Dimbert has the latest.
This morning, 14 Americans evacuated from a cruise ship in Japan who tested positive for coronavirus are back in the U.S. Some arrived in Texas Monday before traveling to a specialized national quarantine unit in Nebraska for further evaluation.
We have the facilities, we have the resources and the expertise to handle these kind of individuals.
10 have already tested positive for the virus, now officially named COVID-19. And on that Diamond Princess cruise ship in Japan, so far, 454 cruise passengers have been infected. Passenger Jerry Larson was one of those stuck at sea.
It was fine. We were very well taken care of. We were very lucky. We had a bigger room and a full balcony. They fed us well. I felt like they were taking extremely good care of us.
Meanwhile, a second flight of evacuated Americans from Japan.
The bus will take you to the airplane. The airplane takes you to the United States.
Landing at Travis Air Force Base in California, another quarantine zone.
I have to put my mask on.
At least 4 of those passengers also testing positive, and across the globe, coronavirus crossing more than 24 countries, while World Health officials work to stop the spread.
WHO is continuing to work night and day on several fronts to prepare countries. We're providing advice to countries on how to do screening, testing, contact tracing, and treatment.
All but 2 of the cases in the U.S. are linked to travel to Wuhan, China, the center of the outbreak. Andrew Dimbert, ABC News, Washington.
Today, a group of federal judges are expected to hold an emergency meeting over concerns about the Department of Justice's intervention in politically sensitive cases. USA Today reports that the president of the National Association of Federal Judges referenced a crisis in the Justice Department that could not wait. This comes as more than 2,000 former prosecutors signed a statement calling on Attorney General Bill Barr to resign. They say it's because of his involvement overruling the sentencing recommendation of former Trump associate Roger Stone.
An Uber driver in New Orleans is facing aggravated assault charges after he reportedly opened fire on 2 passengers. Police say Ahmad was arrested after the incident Sunday morning. They say he first got into an argument with the 2 passengers after they told him he was driving them in the wrong direction. They later called another Uber, but police say Ahmad removed the car keys from the second car so the new Uber driver could not leave. A physical fight broke out and Ahmad reportedly pulled a gun and started shooting at the passengers. No one was injured.
150-foot flames shooting up in the sky in Corpus Christi, Texas after a gas line ruptured. Police say buildings nearby also caught fire. The fire began in a pipeline running to Marathon Petroleum's facility. It burned for more than an hour, causing nearby schools to take shelter. Police say buildings nearby also caught fire. Luckily, no one was hurt. The refinery said an operational incident was the cause of that fire.
More companies are trying out new technology to help protect our nation's water system from pollution. 2 products on the market right now are the Fitrol watering filtering system and the Coroball. They're designed to collect microplastics that rinse out when you wash your clothes and keep them from getting back into the waterways. One clothing rental store in Florida is already using this technology, and they say they've already seen positive results.
The world's richest man is also working to improve the environment. Amazon's CEO Jeff Bezos says he's donating $10 billion of his own money to fight climate change. He says the money will go through an initiative called the Bezos Earth Fund. The move comes after Amazon employees pushed him to do more about environmental problems. Many walked off their jobs in September to press him on the issue. Here at 446, Alyssa is standing by with a check at our Tuesday morning forecast.
Yeah, so we're starting this Tuesday just with a little bit of light drizzle in the forecast and some fog, and then we're going to be left with some cloudy skies for our Tuesday. We do have some sunshine in the forecast as we head over the next couple days. That does come with some cooler weather, though, and then we have the potential of rain and snow again. This weekend looks like that will be late in the weekend. Looks like our best chance will be Sunday and into Monday. So we are going to see a nice little dry streak here. Here's a look at our downtown west view, and that is the fog that we are talking about this morning. You can see that is very thick across the area right now. Temperatures are starting in the 40s and 50s, so it is a warm start. That's part of why we are seeing that fog this morning. 49 degrees right now in Indianapolis. We're at 45 in Kokomo, 51 in Bloomington, and you can see we do have some breezy conditions outside with those winds out of the southwest. Those are going to shift as we head into the afternoon and become more northwesterly, which is going to help cool our temperatures down as well. So here's a look at that fog that we're talking about. You can see starting to see that creep into central Indiana, right into Indianapolis right now. We are down to just 2.5 miles of visibility in Muncie and 1.5 miles up in Fort Wayne. So if those areas are part of your commute, you are going to encounter that fog, and we're going to continue to see that spread throughout the morning. So just be aware of that. Give yourself some extra time. Taking a look at our and radar, just a little bit of lingering showers yet this morning. Most of that is to the southeast as that system moves off to our east, and then we are going to start with those cloudy skies and just maybe a hit and miss light shower here and there throughout the day, sort of a misting as we head through the morning. Most of that activity will be to extreme southeast counties if we do see it. As we head into the afternoon, though, here we are Tuesday at noon. You can see most of us are going to be dry by that point and see cloudy skies, and then we'll start to see some clearing as we head overnight. What's going on is that warm air is going to be pushed out and cooler air is going to settle in. So we have a cold front that's trailing behind this system, and then high pressure is going to be in control over the next couple days. That's going to help keep us cool and also help keep us dry. So today, starting in the upper 40s and will fall into the upper 30s by the afternoon. So we are going to see a quick change to our temperatures throughout the day. And this is just the start of those falling temperatures. Tomorrow will be a little bit cooler, and our coolest day in the forecast is going to be on Thursday, with those highs only into the upper 20s and low 30s. But again, that's a little bit closer to where we should be this time of year. Temperature lows, though, will be a little bit cool by Thursday morning into the teens. Today, those falling temperatures, a little bit of drizzle out there and a little bit of fog, so give yourself some time. And then tomorrow we are going to start seeing more sunshine. That sunshine sticks with us into the weekend. Our next chance of rain and snow comes in Sunday.
Alyssa, thanks for keeping a close eye on traffic this morning. Here's a live look right now up in the northwest side, I-65 and I-865 in the dogleg. Traffic here is already picking up at this early hour, traveling up to speed. That is good news. Let's take a look right now over on the northeast side. You can see a little bit of that maybe fog Alyssa has been talking about this morning, and we have the wet roads, I-465 here in Pendleton Pike. Traffic still moving along up to speed. No crashes or delays to report around the metro area.
When it comes to dieting, choosing the right one can be tricky, but new research shows the Mediterranean diet could also help you live longer. It mostly focuses on plant-based foods, and the study found this type of eating for just 1 year improved gut bacteria for older adults in a big way. Researchers say it can lead to things like improved brain function and reduce the risk for things like diabetes and clogged arteries.
Home decor retailer Pier 1 has filed for bankruptcy, and now the company is looking for a buyer. Pier 1 says it filed Monday after racking up $59 million in losses. It had already been in the process of closing hundreds of stores, but still have about 500 that are still in operation. The company is the latest brick-and-mortar retailer to fall victim to online competitors like Amazon and big box chains.
Redbox is offering a new service for those looking to cut the cord. The service, known for its movie rentals, says its customers can now live stream television for free. Redbox says you don't need to sign in to view its free live TV. You just have to download its app. It does not include any mainstream networks on its list, but the company says it has dozens of popular channels in a variety of categories.
Decades later, a long-lost purse discovered at an Ohio middle school. After the break, the contents inside after it went missing in the 1950s.
And teachers and supporters continue to demand action from lawmakers at an education rally. New at 5, the latest on the education bills making their way through the State House. But first,
I'm Vinny Politan. Coming up today on Court TV, the biggest day in the Harvey Weinstein rape trial. That's because the jury finally gets the case after 7 weeks of jury selection. Opening statements, evidence, and arguments. It is now in the hands of 7 men and 5 women who must determine whether or not this man, Harvey Weinstein, is in fact a sexual predator. Keep it on Court TV all day long, because anytime the jury does anything, you will hear about it right here. We are live in New York City today on Court TV.
And don't forget, you can watch Court TV live right on your mobile device by visiting CourtTV.com. It's 4:52. We'll be right back.
La Quinta, tomorrow you triumph.
Welcome back. The time right now is 4:55. Here's a live look right now at traffic on the east side. I-70 here, a view from Arlington Avenue. Traffic's picking up and traveling up to speed.
An amazing discovery behind a school wall is telling the story of teenage life back in the 1950s. A custodian found a long-lost purse while making repairs at an Ohio middle school. It belonged to Patty Rumfola, a former student who lost it all the way back in 1957. Rumfola died in 2013, but the purse's contents gave her family a glimpse into her life as a teenager. It contains several black and white photos, as well as makeup items, a comb, school supplies, and a football game schedule. The purse also held 26 cents, which became special mementos for her family. That's pretty neat.
That is cool. I'm thinking about what I have in my purse, and not nearly that many cool
things. All your photos are now, contained on your phone. Yeah, you can look up the football schedule on your phone.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Crazy.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we got to talk about our forecast today. It's still drizzling out there right now.
Yeah, so we do have just a little bit of light drizzle this morning, and then the bigger thing this morning as you head out the door is we are seeing some patchy fog developing across the area, so you might want to give yourself a little bit of extra time. It's going to be pretty nice when you walk outside. Temperatures are in the upper 40s and low 50s, but those are going to fall throughout the day. By the afternoon, we'll be into the upper 30s with cloudy skies, and then we are going to see some cooler air filter in over the next couple days, but we are going to see some sunshine as well. That sunshine sticking with us into the weekend.